can sit. Yeah.
Yeah.
Good. There we go. Nice and cozy.
All right. All right, Jacky, welcome to the Tiny Bench.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
So this series started when I just wanted to connect with inspirational, cool people and find out a little bit about them. So I am so inspired by you and so excited to have this conversation. And it's a tiny interview, so we're going to jump right in.
Cool.
So let me ask about the elephant in the room to start. Tell me about your tattoo.
My tattoo. I got it. I think I got it just after I did a crazy challenge, and it is because I grew up in South Africa. Elephants. I grew up with elephants, and it represents strength to me, and that's why I got it.
I love that. Now you, everybody looking probably can see that there's more to the store than just an elephant on your leg. So what did we do today? Why were we out here, and what happened?
Oh yeah, let's talk about this quickly.
We'll just brush this.
We were going for a 13-mile run. I tripped on a rock the first mile, and kind of tore my knee open. But it's all good. It's all good. A little bit of KT tip when I get home, and a bit of a wash. You'll be fine. And I'm running 13 miles every day for cancer research, and every day I run for someone that has either anyone that's been affected with cancer. So anyone that is either going through cancer at the minute or unfortunately lost their life to cancer. And I'm on day 231. So I've been running consecutive half marathons for 230 days. And I've run in between that. I've done 100K. I've done 80 miles. I've done a marathon. So I've kind of done other distances too. Just a few.
Just a few. Now this is your second massive challenge like this. So let's go back. Was it just last year?
The year before. Actually, it's been 2 years already. I know, it's crazy.
So you started by doing marathon a day.
I did.
And so how long did you make a marathon in a day?
I did 104 days, consecutive days. But that was a great cause because I did it for a charity, Amputee Blade Runners, and I wanted to kind of show because prosthetics are so expensive and most people can't afford prosthetics. And I know running kind of changed my life. It just helped me accept being an amputee. It just made me feel a little bit more normal. Okay. And so a lot of people can't afford them. So I just kind of wanted to kind of highlight it a little bit and just do something really, really hard. And I wanted to see if I could do it because I thought, if anyone else can do it, like with two legs, I can do it. I can do it. That.
So let's back up. I think that's a great segue to how did you get into running and why?
I started running about 7 years ago. And it's weird. Like when you become an amputee, you're put in a box. It's just weird. Like people don't mean to do it, but they do. And they're like, you know what? Oh, you're fine. You can just sit at home on the sofa. You don't have to do anything. Don't worry about it. It's like you're now disabled. And that part frustrated me. So I was always more of a person. I wanted to don't put me in a box. I want to do stuff and I want to kind of just get things done. And so running was one of those things that was really frustrating because you couldn't just put on a pair of running shoes. It's like a whole complication that you need a running prosthetic. And I was like, that part frustrated me. Like it was that whole extra step that I needed. And so I just, in a sense, I think in the beginning, I wanted to be normal. Like, I just wanted to do what everyone else did. I don't want to be held back. And so I went down the running route just to see. And my husband's a runner and we have a bit of a competition going. Whatever he can do, I can do better. We've always done that.
I love it.
So that was like a little bit of an incentive too, a little bit, if I'm honest. And so then I went down, my first race I actually did that in a walking leg.
Okay.
Because I wasn't sure about running and I was being a little bit stubborn because I'm like, well, going down the running prosthetics, I mean, they're $20,000 for one.
Can you take 1 minute and talk a little bit about, so this is a running leg.
Yeah. So you have
walking leg.
So they're different. So I have a running leg, I have a walking leg, and then I actually luckily, but it's a very old leg that I actually have one that has an adjustable foot. So if I want to wear high heel shoes, I can. So it's different. So they have different elements to it and stuff. The walking leg is great. I could run in it if I wanted to, but it's a little heavier and it's just not as dynamic as what with the running prosthetic. The problem here is that running prosthetics aren't always covered by your health insurance, which is so dumb. And they literally, their theory is like, why would you want to run if you're an amputee? They literally have said,
so they're the ones putting you in a box as well.
Exactly. Like, and it's super stupid. And it's like, I'm like, it's so good for your mental health, because I've spoken to so many people where, like people have stopped me and their husband or wife has had diabetes and they've lost their leg. And they're like, you know what, if they were just more encouraged to be active mentally, they would accept it more and they'd be out and just feel normal. And I'm like, and now they're stuck in a wheelchair, and it's such a messed up system and frustrating. But yeah, these cost $20,000. And so that's a lot of money. Like I was talking about, when I first went down the running route, my husband's like, well, you do know we're spending $20,000 on this. You have to like it. So I was like, yeah, it's not like you buy a pair of running shoes and you're like, oh, no, running's not for me. Nah. I'm like, $20,000, we've invested in this.
That's quite the commitment. I'm sure there's no return policy on the $20,000.
Like, once you run, it's like, yeah, no, that's it. That's yours.
Oh my gosh. So I think you said you wanted to get into running to be normal and to feel normal, and now you're doing, 250 half marathons in a row. So you've shifted that paradigm just a little bit.
Yeah. It's great just to show people that you're capable of so much more.
Yeah.
Like, it's just, you know what, I'm not going to use my leg as an excuse.
Right.
And I want to keep pushing myself to see how far I can go. And sometimes I fail at it, and that's okay. But I'm going to keep trying and just kind of just see what happens. I mean, the original, when I started with the half marathons, I was like, we'll see how far I get. And it's been a great project. It's been really rewarding. And I think it's always finding your why you're doing this. And for me, that's always doing all these little projects. It's just trying to make a difference in the world, really.
I was really inspired and amazed. We just got done with this run and we're wrapping up, and this young woman came up and just said thank you to you. And like, it's giving me goosebumps right now. Just you wanted to inspire, and it's real world immediate proof that like some person with the random stranger doesn't know who you are, you don't know who, just came up and said thank you. And like, that for me was incredible to see. And I'm sure that reinforces that you're on this path.
So cool. Yeah, and it does.
And so what she said, she had to have 12 brain surgeries, and then you hear like everybody has these stories, and it's like, wow, you're somebody that she now says like, wow, if you can do it. She was out here doing 2 miles, like maybe she has 3 miles next time, and you're on.
Yeah.
Like, how cool is that?
It's so cool. It's so cool. And that's why I do this. Because I'm like, even if I inspire one person, you know what? It's been worth it. And it's just one person. Yeah.
That's so amazing. So what happens on a day that you just don't want to get out of bed and run? I'm fascinated with ultra endurance athletes that have the persistence and the mindset that no matter what's in front of them, they're going to overcome it. So whether it's getting out of bed in the morning, maybe that's the hardest step, or like in the middle of a whatever, you're like, I'm done. I don't want to do it. What motto, whatever keeps you going?
My motto always has been, and I think it came from when I did the marathons, because it's brutal. It's brutal getting up every day. Like, oh, gotta run another, like, oh no. And it's just like telling yourself, you know what, just one step at a time. So I would just like do small steps, like, go out for a run and then just get to 1 mile. And it's like, you just like start breaking it down, like smaller goals and just smaller steps, and like just take it one step at a time. I remember the one time I just kind of halfway, I just stopped. I was like, I'm done. That's it. I'm done. And I sat down on the side of the road and I'm like, yeah, I've had enough now. And it's just like, then you just kind of chat to yourself and we do it. I mean, we all do it. Like, and out on
the Forrest Gump. I think I'll go home now.
Exactly. And it's like, you're out on a 100-miler and you're like, you have like halfway there and you're like, yeah, that's it. I'm done. But you just take a moment, take a deep breath, and you just then remember why you're doing this. And I think that is the importance of any challenge that you take on. You always need to remember your why.
Yeah. And you're doing it for so much more than you, right? If you can suffer for 2 to 3 hours.
Exactly.
Like, come on. They're going through so much worse. You've been through so much worse.
Exactly.
What's 2 hours?
Exactly. And it's like, and I think that is definitely what's got me through it all, is just remembering the people that I'm running for and how they are still fighting.
Yeah.
And it's the whole why.
So the last question I'm going to ask you, and this one I ask every single person. I'm fascinated by the answers. At some point in your life, whether it was pre-losing part of your leg or now, somebody gave you a piece of advice that sticks with you, that motivates you, that you think back on, that you draw upon. What is that advice that you could now share to the rest of the world? That quote, that's something that just like, man, like that stuck with you.
That's a good question. Let me think about this one. It was one of my school teachers, and he was a funny man. He was very strict, and he always like, his big thing in class was always, you'll be able to do whatever you want to put your mind to, and that's always stuck with me because he always believed in us. Like, even I mean, kids, big kids and stuff. He never lost faith in us. He always said, whatever you want to be, you will be. Like, you choose. Because it was, growing up, it was, you couldn't always choose your direction you wanted to go, because you were kind of put in a box again, especially as a girl.
Right.
But he always said, you know what, whatever you want to be, you be. And I always remember that.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love that. And you want to be a runner, and you're a runner.
And here I am.
I love that. Well, from me and everybody else that follows your journey, thank you for inspiring. I know there are days that I don't want to run, and then for whatever reason, your posts on social media pop up at the right time. I'm like, shit, like, what excuse do I have now?
Like, that they do that.
like that. Sometimes I just, well, Jacky is out here again doing it. I can do it. Like, I just took a rest day yesterday. Why do I like? But thank you. Thank you for inspiring.
And thank you for having me on, and thank you for running with me today.
Absolutely, it was incredible. It was an honor, and keep inspiring.
Thank you.